Drive the roads across the Fens in the east of England and you won't fail to see deer. Especially this time of year, February and March. The Chinese water deer dot the landscape in all directions, and the roe you would normally see in ones and twos are out in herds. The government is keen to see them shot, because they eat trees, though you won't find many trees around here. So you will hear the line, "There are more deer than there have been for 1,000 years," or "There are 1 million," or "There are 2 million deer in the UK." The government has no idea how many deer there are. In this part of the country, it is true to say that there are plenty. I am out with deer manager and Fieldsports member Mark Froggatt.
There is a few. There's quite a few around here. No matter what we seem to do numbers-wise, they just keep coming into the area. So yeah, it's great. Don't get me wrong. We actually love seeing them, and they're great sport. But it's certainly hard to keep on top of them. I'm in an area where there isn't really that much in the way of control, and it's noticeable again because as fast as I met my cull figures up, they seem to just push in from other areas. So that's one of the ongoing challenges. It seems to be a lack of other people in the area actively managing them.
It's not just lack of people out shooting. Any stalker looking at these images of deer will already feel itchy about the lack of backstop in this big, flat country.
I think this is probably some of my most challenging stalking. There is literally not a tree or a bush, or in many cases a reed tied behind it. It's about as flat as it comes, and you really got to get your stealth mode on to be successful around here.
Mark selects a Chinese water deer for me to cull.
We just follow the track down where you see the Norfolk reed just breaking out from that ditch. About 30 yards along to your right, you'll see two. Just the first one's in line with the wind turbine, and you can just see them lay out in the middle of the field down there, enjoying the sunshine. Well, I think we'll do a sneak onto those. So now's the time to make like a piece of grass, because there's bugger all between us and them. The wind's in our favour at the moment. We could actually just stick very close to the roadway here and use the ditch to keep our height down, and then work our way into there. And when we get to the end, we have to cross another ditch. That'll make us a bit visible, but we'll have to see which way they're looking. Hopefully, heads up into the wind and not looking at us, so here goes.
The ditch plan works, at least for the first 200 metres. Then the inevitable happens.
There's a Chinese ditch here, just run across. Whilst most will feed into the wind, the Chinese tend to do more circles. They'll still progress that way, but they tend to meander a little bit more, whereas roe tend to be quite definite where they're feeding. These will circle back round. It's great if you're into your long distance shooting, it's fine. But here it's so flat that we're surrounded by so many different roads. I like to get in, up and shooting onto them, so that's why we have so many high seats here. It's one of the easier ways to do the job.
Mark uses his knowledge of deer behaviour to decide to head towards a tree, which will give us cover for an animal just beyond that has held its ground. This time he gets me into place. Backstop is good, deer is stationary, and I can take a shot. I hand Mark the camera. Even filming, he spots my schoolboy error.
Just check your clearance, you've got twigs right in front of your barrel there.
Even with both of us happy with the backstop, the shot is low, but the animal is down and out. And this visit to the Fens is not over. Early the following morning, Mark gets us up and out again and finds a group of roe. This is a small one. Mark has seen up to 28 roe in a single herd.
Here we're just finishing up on a beautiful fenland morning. It is absolutely spectacular this morning. Certainly worth getting out of bed. Certainly a superb shot on a nice doe. which has capped the morning off beautifully. We saw a group of about 6 roe, 2 really nice bucks in it as well, which is great to see. We managed to stalk in. It was a bit crunchy underfoot this morning, and of course being in the fens there's no cover, so it was a bit of a cautious sneak, set up for about a 250 metre shot, which was executed perfectly. Well done, Charlie. Last night we were chasing the Chinese, and I mean we were chasing the Chinese. Some interesting attempts. Apparently I frog marched him across a field of plough, but that's another story. Just as we were getting into the last knockings of the day, we managed to get into some Chinese, and the result was, yeah, Chinese water deer down on the ground, so excellent. So we've had an evening and a morning, and it's been great. We've seen plenty of deer and had a good time. Well, I hope you had a good time.
I have had a good time. Thank you, Mark. Fenland stalking is not simple. It needs experience, or someone with experience, and for a Fenland newbie like me, it's definitely an experience.